Welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarity. I will be your host, and we're going to go on a quest for truth together. And today, friends, we have two special returning guests. Yes, it's Carrie and Todd Swearingen. Welcome back to the Truth Quest.
Bye.
Well, it's all right.
Todd
So you can watch now. You can see the chat. Okay, good. Well, thank you for coming back onto the Truth Quest. I really, really appreciate it. I think you guys are great.
Aaron. Todd's doing something right
now. I'm just putting the links.
And let me just say something here. I think because Todd, I think your makeup looks great, Todd.
Exactly.
That was my little joke. You both look great. So there you go. All right. Well, now you guys were here about a year ago. And
it's been about a year.
About a lot of things.
Was it a year? Wow.
Yeah. Time flies. You know, it's really weird how time just keeps going. But our last show, we had Corey Good on. And of course, you two were instrumental in helping me to get in touch with Corey, putting me in touch with the right people to get in touch with him. So I got to thank you again for that. And you guys are mods and something else for Corey, right?
Yeah. Well, we help him. We model quite a few of his groups. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a big job because he's got a lot of people over there, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, and he's got the new platform too, the Ascension Works TV, and so we're helping him on that too.
Ascension Works TV. Everybody, if you're looking for an alternative to like Facebook or something like that, Ascension Works TV. It's free to sign up. It's like social media. Come on over there. We need more people over there. Huh?
Yeah. And you're not censored like some of the other groups.
And it's not dark. You know, it's pretty lighthearted and
yes, good people. Good people. Yeah. Heart-centered people. And so come on over, free thinkers, to
Aaron's on there now too, so
Ascension Works TV. .tv, that's what it is. Okay. Oh, and hello, Margie Long, Catherine Weiss, Peggy Dancer. Welcome to the program. Thank you for being here. And wow, we're off to a roaring good start.
I'm still nervous.
We can't tell. We can't tell. Nobody can tell. So that'll make you feel better, just knowing that.
I didn't know that mascara could have so many different evil names. She was in the room cursing out her makeup. I think that's what was going on.
Well,
that's for singing.
Yeah, trying to get ready.
Well,
it's her black mascara mixed into her, and she thought it was some evil being in the room that attacked her makeup.
Black goo
all over.
Black goo. The new black goo eyeliner. Don't use that.
Black goo.
But you know, I got to say, when I'm looking at my analytics, a lot of times your show is being watched by people. They're looking it up. They're finding you guys and they're watching it. So that's why I knew. Oh, and look at Debbie Graham. Hello, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
That's awesome. Welcome to the program. So
that's what we were gonna ask Debbie while she's here. Hey, Debbie, it seemed like on the last show with Corey, there was a possibility that Corey would have mentioned the description of the new Guardians. So we were kind of hoping that if this can be done, the reveal could be done on Aaron's show. So if that's possible, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
We don't want to push, so maybe you can find a way.
So he wants you to push.
Putting
yeah, we'll put it on you.
Don't put Corey on the spot like that, Todd.
Well, and Debbie's been great. She's a great person. So yeah, the whole team around Corey's group is just full of great people. I'm finding it's incredible. And there's Kara Lightwing. Hello there.
Hi, Fran. I can't see the. Is there a way we can see the
the comments?
The comments.
We're going through
Oh, okay. Aaron can see him though.
So was there anything in our Wednesday show that Corey brought up that was a surprise to you, or that you want to elaborate on or have questions about?
I'm trying to think of what.
Well, what I think we all discovered, at least I did, is there was some. It seems to me whenever Corey's interviewed and he's in a more comfortable state, like your show, we're always comfortable with
I
you.
will be right back. I'm gonna feed the cat because she's meowing.
Our kitty
here.
is pestering and
Come here,
pushing.
come.
But he always brings up some descriptions of, or just topics that he'd never talked about before. And it for him it's just like, he just rattles it off. But we're like, wait a minute, we've never heard this before. And one of them, I think you and I both agreed, the description of the fact that the Emmys people living on the inside of the earth.
Mhm.
And I think also, is it Mecca's people?
Because yep, you live inside too.
Yeah, and I did. That was a finite detail that I didn't know, and I'm like, can you please elaborate? And for him, he just thinks he brought it up before, but I'm like, I don't think so. So it's like,
Debbie says he said soon, and Fran's here too.
right? Yeah. No, I get the soon part, but I was hoping that he was teasing. He almost alluded to the fact that he thought about doing it on your show.
He sure did. Yeah.
To me, it's a big deal. I mean, it's an interesting, the fact that we don't know.
Mhm.
And Carrie has some ideals. She's had some, I don't know, she's coming back up here.
So
He's going back to the other room. But anyway,
okay.
she had some ideals about what they look like. I don't know if it was in a dream state or what, but
Wow.
so I don't know if she's gonna give her description if she doesn't get in here.
That's okay. That's okay. One of the things that I was going to bring up, I had it written down, and I totally forgot to bring it up on that show, was a kind of a rework of the unity in the community statement, where the new one could be unity in the real community and the shunning of the shills.
Good word. Well, the thing is, my thing is this.
Okay, sorry.
We're all running around trying to. I mean, there's some discord going on even in the community, and nobody wants that. I mean,
Right.
sometimes it's interesting because in one way or another, we're chewing through, the data that we're all kind of surmising it because we're dealing with a 4D situation with 3D minds.
Mhm.
And my thing is the answer to the unity part is a recognizing of the 3D trap that we're in. And
Mhm.
that 3D trap to me is duality. And even today I saw a clip and I was surprised because I always think there's so few people that actually think this way. But to me, the answer to get moving into 4D is to stop fighting in 3D in the sense of, duality, getting caught up in that polarity.
Mhm.
We have to make peace with negativity, recognizing that it's there because it challenges you. It's the platform for creation. Anything that happens to you, I mean, I guess really, if you take it to the core, we're all creators. We're all part of the one, the singularity. So we have that everything within us that comes from source. So we are technically creators. And, so anything that comes to us, really, it was by way of, our creating it into our reality, good or bad. And when we recognize that power, then we can make peace with it, back off from the judgments, back off from getting caught up in that, the web of that, the tear, and realize that, it served its purpose. We're trying to move into 4. Let's let it go. So, so some of the rips that we have with other people, we just gotta try and find a way to move through that.
Yes.
That's
I don't, Aaron, what was I'm sorry, the cat was like meowing
No,
at us, and I
we
was
brought
like,
it. We
had
brought
to
up.
go feed her.
We brought up the descriptions of the new Guardians, and you had a perception. I don't know where it came from. It was dream or whatever, but you could take from there.
Oh, well, that
I don't know
was,
if you wanted to share what you thought they looked like.
yeah, I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm not sure if I'm gonna share that yet, but no, I was just trying to figure out what happened after Emmy had I was trying to get out of Corey what happened after, because he made it sound like that there were cabal going down to Antarctica after this took place. And then there was some weird thing where they were doing some type of, what was it? They were reading, they read some type of script or something, and they got some type of download. Do you remember
It
reading
was
that,
a
Aaron?
ritual. It was a ritual.
Some ritual or rite.
Oh, that was when they were awakening the old gods.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I think this was afterward. I don't know. I have to ask him or read it again, because I thought,
Where he brought that girl back to life.
yeah, and I was trying to figure out what happened. Like, did this happen after, when they went down and read these rites and did these rituals? I was trying to figure out if this
Oh,
happened
you're trying to put the
after.
order together.
Yeah, if it happened after what
That
happened with
incident.
Emmy.
Yeah.
I was trying to figure out, was it what the order of it was, because it was confusing me.
Right, there are two separate things, I think.
Yeah,
Because sometimes he builds on the update and then you reread
well,
it.
and then if this happened, what I want to know is, shouldn't all of those cabal people be terrified? You would think that they wouldn't even want to go down there after that happened.
I don't think these people are terrifiable. Really.
No, very egotistical.
You would just think that, yeah, they're. Do you know what I mean?
And they're so evil that evil doesn't even scare them, because they're evil.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. They're
Well, I mean, they still have a propensity of fear. There's in fact, I was told too that like in a possession situation, when you call out the demon, which is ET presence, call it out for what it is, you basically stifle them. That's my understanding, whether that's true or not. But that's what actually brought her into this world of and letting go of her Catholicism, was the fact that she had been watching these ghost shows. And most of the time in the ghost shows, the demons were exorcised through a Christian means, usually Catholicism. But the last few shows she was watching, they were using shamans and other, types of priests. And that threw her for a loop. She was like, how is this working? And you could tell that these people were really traumatized and going through the things they say they were going to. You could see it, they're not pretending. So that kind of gave her a little bit of a
part
twist.
in my
Well,
life.
I mean,
There
it's
was a lot of things.
a lot of things, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, I was the duality thing to me is important. I have some like little statements I made, like you're not a victim of what you create. You're a victim upon, victim up until you recognize that you're not. This victim state. When we're doing our life, we have to realize everything that happens to us, we're creating, and that's the power that we should have. So then, if we learn to, make peace with all that, I think we can get out of this duality and start moving into 4D consciousness. And then when we start doing that, certain people will start phasing out of our lives that are not a match to that vibration. And to me, that's the key. Now, I do agree that there are forces that are going up against us. And, we're not all at this point of being able to, make peace. So like Corey's class is offering the ability to, the techniques that they're probably going to be, him and Stacy are going to be offering to help ward off these negative influences. Carrie herself, when she feels things are going on in the house.
Yeah, we had a lot of weird stuff happening here, and we could talk about that too. But
yeah, but she on the simplicity, she'll take salt water and just squirt it everywhere, and there definitely is a change.
Really,
it does seem to settle things for a moment. I don't know if you want to go into.
Well, a lot of that is based off of what was given in the raw material. So I think it was like 95.
Did
Number
you want
95.
to go into the family thing?
No.
Well, we had a situation that was kind of interesting. She has a family member that contacted us about their children. And one of the boys was, well, it started off really years ago. The kids were telling Carrie that they were seeing, what is it, dragons in the room or something.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, they were pretty little to be saying that, but they were telling me dragons and stuff.
Yeah, and then so she kind of put the two and two together. So she went in there and did her little magic.
yeah. Smudging? Do you smudge too? I mean, with sage, I've seen people do it.
I didn't do that. I just, well, I will say, yeah, I don't know if we should be talking about this. That they might
If
get.
you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to.
No, I'm just worried that the family member might see this and be like, "Why did you
Sure.
bring that up?" Do you know what I mean? I'm a little
His name
concerned.
was
Who? We didn't
No,
say
the family member was the other one.
Is it?
Problem solved.
Well, actually, it got a little bit crazier.
Well, yeah.
One of the one of the boys apparently came out of the room and slapped his sister and said the devil made him do it.
Mm.
Then later it happened again, and he apparently kicked her in a place where she had a operation when she was little,
Oh my God.
and said the devil told him to do it. You know, things of this nature was happening, so we were contacted to see if we can help.
Sure.
And you know, these folks, you know, believe in strongly in Christianity, so this is also amplified. So Carrie and I went over. I took my charm. I'll show you. I got to make fun for the kids instead of, you know, spooking them out. You know, just kind of have them run around the house and
Yeah,
work
that's
it off.
right.
We didn't want to scare.
Yeah, we didn't want to scare or make a thing out of it.
Right.
I did go over there and I used my sister's holy water, I mean, because, you know, and I'm just gonna say it was one of my sisters.
I didn't say it.
But she just asked me to bless the house, and we did, and then they haven't had any more problems. So
Good.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, she was kind of concerned. It was odd for, you know, the little ones to.
Well, let's
Yeah.
just bless everyone's house right now. Everyone's house is blessed.
Right. But
Right?
and then that wasn't where it really started was and I wasn't sure about sharing this, but I will. I don't think my son minds.
Well, this one thing I want to add about in the house, the stove kept turning up 666. And
Yeah,
then the
she was having some really weird stuff
the
happen.
cross fell and broke or something like that, right?
Yeah, she wasn't sure if that was like accidental or I don't
But
know. A
just-
lot of
it's
weird
just
stuff
weird.
happened. It was a really old cross, but it was just really weird things happening.
Okay, you
Wow.
And so
No. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
so anyway, I don't want to tell certain things because it might upset him if I shared it, but I'll try and share without sharing too much. He was having a lot of issues with the ex, and he started kind of acting real crazy. He had been drinking and acting insane, and he was drinking, and oh gosh, I don't know if I should share this. It's a little intense. Well, I guess what happened was what I want to say. I'm not going to go into detail, but things escalated and got very bad.
And
And
she could see a presence.
he actually lunged at me and growled like it wasn't even him.
Right. Oh my
And
God.
so yeah, so
Which, Mama Bear, you don't do that.
and but he was having like a mental breakdown. We had to but to me it was very apparent that it was some type of entity attachment.
Right.
Yeah.
And I heard that alcohol can facilitate that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
And so then we had to get him some help. And then I attempted to clear him. I don't know if I did. It seemed like I did. He went. We took him to get help. He got help, and seemed like he got better. But as I was driving home after this, I saw an entity shoot across my car before, like a black shadow figure, mist thing, shoot across my car.
And then we both seen one. Something just ran across the road. I'm going really, and it very hazy, very fast.
Yeah, that was after a while though.
I know,
right?
but that was bizarre. It wasn't like it was too fast to be a creature.
And then as I was driving home, this thing shot in front of me. This black thing shot in front of me as I was heading back here. Again, so it shot past my car as I was getting into the car, and then as I was driving back home. So then they had kept him for observation for a little bit. We had talked to them, and then they decided to release him because this was out of character for him, you know. And I knew something was going on. I went over. My mother said that she was hearing singing, weird gargling noises in the closet. There was a lot of weird stuff going on over there.
But I have to add. So she goes in the bedroom and she hears us hissing.
That was
so
after.
She freaks out, comes home. I heard hissing in the room.
Well, and my mom didn't hear it. I was like.
So she goes back and we come to find out it was an air mistress.
What?
Air wick or air mister.
It was one of those air wick things that shoot the. Because I was like, I asked my mom, I'm like, did you just hear that? It sounded like something just hissed.
She's like, that's just my air mister.
No, she didn't tell me.
Oh.
She didn't remember. And then she called me like the day after and said, oh, that was the air mister. And I was like, you didn't remember you had one of those in your room? Because I'm sitting there like, what was that? You know?
Yeah, wow.
And given all the craziness that, you know, and I'm not into, I mean, I accept the fact that this can happen to people, especially if you're focused like that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess
but I seen it.
The point that I'm making is if, you know, I think we're all targeted, and if they can't target you, they will target your family members, or they will target friends, or they will target somebody that you're close to, you know. And I have heard this from numerous people in the community. A lot of them are having similar experiences with their children being targeted, with other family members being targeted. You know, now my sister might say, well, you know, that's not what that is. But I see it that way. For one, because it happened to, you know, I've seen things happening with my own kids. You know, Todd and I have seen that with our kids. And I'm also seeing it happening with my extended family, you know.
And we have to differentiate.
And even ourselves.
With this, the demon world versus the ET world, which is one of the same. You know? Mm-hmm. I mean, they created pretty much, or infiltrated the Christian format in order to use it as a fear tactic, in my opinion. I mean, I can't conclusively say, but it seems to be that there's some evidence to that effect. And then, of course, you look at Corey Good's updates, you'll find that they are doing things of this nature.
Corey and Stacy were going to do a class coming April. They're doing classes because they have dealt with this on our, and they, you know, Corey mentioned that to you in the video that
shadow beings.
He has been they've been dealing with what people would consider demonic stuff, you know, shadow beings. I saw one pop up next to, I've seen numerous shadow beings. I don't see them as crisp as what he was talking about. I'll see like quick, real fast movement. But I've seen stuff pop up over the side of the bed. Yeah, and I will see stuff in my room.
They're not making
He's seen them. Our kids have seen them.
They're not making this up. I had an opportunity at the last event that we had with Corey. Had a chance to talk to Stacy and his son. And his son was just kind of telling me about some of the experiences that he was having. So I tried to give him some encouraging words, you know.
Yeah, because he's so little too.
Yeah, so I mean, These are
But
legitimate
see, that's
things.
what, you know, with my sister, you know, she was concerned too, because she's like, they're really little to be saying stuff like this.
Yeah,
I mean, that's out of character.
And that's confirmation for me when you hear it from a little guy,
But
you know?
but that, and I have noticed, like, even today, I was catching myself. And I think, you know, a lot of people, like Corey said, in the community, they're doing this, I'm protected, I'm special, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, we're all susceptible to it, you know. And I was catching myself. I've been really crabby at Todd lately. So today I sprayed, you know, I sprayed some water, salt water all around again, you know, because it's like,
I threw some salt water in her bath when she walked away. I shook it up pretty good in there.
But I think it's happening and it's escalating, and you know, I think that we all have to take. Now, Aaron, didn't you say you thought you saw some type of shadow?
Recently, it looks like I see something, but I'm not sure if it's just my bifocals.
Okay, well,
Because whoa, what was that?
I do that too, though, because I'll see this stuff and I'm like, I question myself. I'm like,
But there's been a saying that if you see from the side, this is the 4D world. On your side vision.
Whether that's your peripheral vision?
Peripheral vision.
Yeah,
if it's true or not, I don't know.
I mean, I've seen spear beings. I think I saw those things where I told you they look, I call them sparkles.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen positive things too,
Mm-hmm.
you know, but I will say lately, like there was a morning, or I don't know what time was that, like it's in the middle of the night. I woke up and there was a being standing next to the side of my bed, and I cursed really loud.
She woke me up.
Yeah, I woke him up because I was like,
And I had to work.
I mean, it's when
Go
you,
back to sleep.
I will say, when you see an ET, because you're not used to seeing these beings, you have this reaction that's I don't want to say a visceral reaction, but like it's like, because you're not used to it, it shocks you.
It's foreign.
And you know,
and it leaves you in a place because you don't see it in, you know, you see a hazy imaging of it, so you have to always question yourself. And
the weird thing was that I said that and I was still in that half, it's almost like a half awake, half asleep, but I knew I was awake, and I kept blinking because I was like, this thing's going to disappear. And it was there for a minute, and I freaked out, cussed. And then he finally woke up, and I blinked again and it was gone. And I was like, what was that? And so I was more awake than I kept telling myself, no, I was still half asleep. But I have a lot of things happen when I'm in that waking state. I will hear talking. I will see flashes of things, and it's almost like that. I think it's a theta state, they call it. It's almost like you get psychic impressions and stuff like that. So it's either right when I'm falling asleep or right when I'm waking up. But I don't know. That was really weird. I just know I woke up, cussed, blinked a few times, it disappeared, and then I got into the bathroom, and Todd's like, what happened? And I was like, oh, just a being standing at the side of the bed staring at me. And it was doing this. I mean, it was literally like hovering over me, like looking down at me in my face.
Wow.
I mean, it was really
And then this
weird.
chick wakes up with all kinds of marks. Every day I have to look at her back. There's a new triangle scratch in her back. You know, red marks in her eyes.
I don't know how. I have my phone here. I don't know.
She tried to send me the file, but
Okay.
I don't even know
so she has all these bruises on her legs. She's like, how did I get this? And then a couple weeks ago or a couple months ago, she had been waking up and her pant legs are neatly rolled up.
My pajama pants were rolled up.
It's like
3 times each. And I was like, I looked down and I was like, what the heck? Who's their pajama pants? Yeah, just weird stuff, you know.
Your pajama pants.
Yeah, it's not
running in place when you're laying down.
no, it's like really neat.
No, they were neatly rolled, and I was.
You need to get pajamas like mine with the plastic feet on the bottom.
They can't roll them.
It was weird. I mean, let me see. I wrote some stuff down here. Give me a second.
I told him, you better not mess with me. I got to go to work. Leave me the hell alone. Take this chick all you want.
Well,
maybe that was Todd astral projecting.
No, she's the one that floats.
Might have been Todd rolling my pajama pants up, messing with me. That's what I'm
Could
like.
be.
Yeah, that was. I even wrote the dates down on this. A lot of this stuff because I was keeping track of. It happened twice. It
Okay.
happened. It happened twice where I woke up and my pajama pants were rolled, and it was very odd. And they weren't. They were like loose pajama pants. Like, why would you roll them? You know, I don't even know how they stayed like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really weird.
That's weird.
Let's see.
You're not trying to show the pictures, are
That
you?
was actually, I wrote it down. It happened it must have happened November 28th. And then
I
it
love it.
happened,
Well, you know,
that was a couple months ago. So, I mean,
but you know what a fun topic that seems to keep coming up now,
What?
especially now that David Wilcock kind of has his own version of the solar flash. Yeah, that's an interesting topic.
Solar
And
flash. Yeah.
And you know, to me, it's, you know, there's some folks that hear about how it had happened in the past, so it can create fear.
Hmm.
But I don't think that we're supposed to go into this with fear.
Right.
I think we came in here ready for this. And if there's no such thing as time, we probably already experienced it and can't, you know, get that in our heads yet because we're in a slow, you know, time
see, I
space
don't know.
reality.
I don't know if this chef would even, if I showed it like this, if it would even show up properly. I'm sorry, honey. I wasn't trying to cut you off. I'm just.
I think we should be building large megalithic stone structures with all kinds of easy to read hieroglyphs about everything we've achieved, because it seems like that's the only thing that lasts through
Yeah.
eternity on
Yeah.
this planet. You get all this former highly advanced civilizations completely gone with no trace of how they did anything.
But I don't know how that
What's
works
the,
because you've got different
The Roman,
timelines.
the library. I can't think of the name of it.
Akashic?
No,
Or
the one that
the
burned down.
Alexandria
the
Library?
I said if they had the, you know, all of that information that got lost, that, you know, and was it on purpose? That's what I want to know.
Well, the
You know,
victors
were
wrote
these
history
things-
on top of it, so our
Yeah.
history, you can't trust it. You know,
Right.
You
The
know?
history is history. That's for sure. It's
I mean, obviously, what's really telling is this Ukraine situation, because we all know where the start of all that came from is the Khazarian mafia. You know, so that's interesting to me that we're at this prefaces right now.
Okay, I'm gonna.
yeah, it's very, very strange. Boy.
Okay. Oh, Aaron, I will tell you. And I don't know. I'm gonna see if you can see this on here. I'm just gonna hold up the phone, which is ridiculous. I've got so much crap, but this, I am not the only one. I have had other people reach out to me on Corey's on Essential Works TV. I have a group that I started on Corey's platform.
Okay.
And I wrote it down because it's called Shadow Beings, Attachments, Paranormal Experiences, and Strange Marks. So if anybody wants to join and come into that group, if you're having a lot of, you know, this weird stuff happening, because we're sharing in there, and it's a private group, so it's more safe. You know, I know a lot of people are really nervous about sharing stuff, but
yeah, I got marks that go like right here. I don't
yeah.
have them now, but on the inside of my arms, from time to time, I'll get these strange marks. But so
Yeah.
I'll join that too.
Well, this, like, I don't know if you could see that,
Get to real
Hold it way up there.
but see, like that, it's almost like a blood blister.
Yeah.
There are so many of us that have had this. This happened in September. Todd and I have had.
Is that your ear?
Huh?
Is that your ear?
No, it's my inner arm. It's like right
okay.
here.
All right.
Same spot.
What trips me out is her triangle marks that she gets in her back.
Yeah, I can show
It's
you
a
that. I can
triangle.
show
It's
you
like
that
a
too.
pyramid is burned into her skin.
Wow.
I woke up with a chunk out of my ear. That's my ear.
Oh,
Yeah, I woke up with a chunk out of my ear. It was this one. I woke up.
were you
and
spending any time with Mike Tyson by any chance?
I mean, it was weird, and
Chunk
here, I'll
out.
show you my finger.
You gotta feed that husband of yours. He's going to bed hungry. He's
I woke
nibbling
up-
on your ear all night.
I woke up with a chunk out of my finger, like that.
What? Oh my.
Yeah. I mean, this stuff happened like within the last year. Some of this stuff.
Cannibalistic
The
space
ear thing
beings.
I want to say happened earlier, last year maybe. I have scars on my back
Yeah.
by my shoulder blades from all of these marks that I keep getting. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. I wish we could just, I should have just figured out how to. Do you see all those? Can you see it, Aaron?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little
They're like,
glaring
they're
going
like, they're like scars
Okay.
from marks. And the marks are always in the same spot. They're near my shoulder blades. So like, this is like one of the
And maybe
marks.
you were itching it. Maybe you were itching it.
Yeah, that's like one of the marks.
Oh, wow.
I mean, you can see
You'd
the other
have to really be
scars.
working at it the same spot.
Well,
in
I
order
just
to
think
get
it's
these
weird.
cuts.
It's like always, I thought that too. I thought it could just be,
Mhm.
it could just be that I'm scratching myself, but it keeps happening over and over. And I have numerous scars back there.
God, my back itches all of a sudden. You know that?
This was a triangle. I want to say this was on near my knee. This one's kind of dark.
Okay. You weren't skateboarding earlier. Oh,
No.
three dots. Look at that.
Yeah, I just woke up with it.
Oh,
This is on the back of my neck,
oh my.
right near my spine. Yeah, this is the base of my neck. I mean,
You know, sometimes you can get sores from cheap jewelry, Todd.
I don't give her any kind of jewelry. So no way for me.
Give her a necklace recently from the dollar store.
So this is another one of those strange, this was at a different time. It's one of those weird blood blisters, a little bit farther down my arm.
Okay.
But I
Right.
mean, I'm not the only one that's having those. Like I said, we have a lot of people in our group that were
Mhm.
sending me pictures that looked exactly like that. They're real odd.
Weird.
Yeah,
That
then-
three triangle one is the most interesting one so far.
yeah, it was weird. And it was on my leg, by my knee. Like
Yeah.
what a
How'd you do that, Todd? Tell us your technique.
Well, you
Well, then my son had the same mark. I woke up with this on the back of my leg. It's like
Wow. That looks like a spider bite.
yeah, but he had the same mark, and I've had this happen a couple times. Oh,
Could be a
God,
spider.
It could have been, but why would it bruise? You know, I mean, like I could explain all of these marks.
Did it heal up?
It took quite a while. It was really weird. And I had another one show up on the front of my leg. Same thing.
You might wanna do a little DuckDuckGo search for spider bites
Right?
because some of them look like that.
Okay. And it could be that. I mean, was sitting here trying to debunk this stuff.
Well, spiders are aliens, so you're in the clear.
Trying to think of where else.
Oh, Truth Biblical's in the chat. Welcome to the program. And Mad Pogue. Let's see who else.
So I woke up with this in my eye twice. I've had that.
Oh my, look at that.
Yeah, that was one. That was one time. There was another time that happened. The other time it looked like a heart. It was really weird. That was another time.
Yeah, wow, look at that.
I mean, I mean, all of these things could be explained away, but I mean, the chunk in my ear and the finger one, those waking up having a chunk out of my finger, I was like, okay.
Did it hurt? I mean, did it hurt?
Yeah.
Your ear?
Well, it didn't. You know what the weird thing was? Is it wasn't that deep at first, and then it got worse. It got progressively worse. It took like a whole month.
Yeah.
And then it just got deeper and deeper, and I was like, what's going on? And then it healed. The ear chunk, I woke up and I was like, I felt it and I was like, what the heck? You know, and I was like, and then I looked, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a chunk of skin out of my ear.
Wow.
You know, I mean, I can't explain that.
New topic.
Well, I mean, yeah, you can explain it away, but weird.
It is weird. Yeah, it is definitely weird.
I have to hear it every day. So new topic.
Well, I mean, and like I said, I just started documenting the stuff, but then I have other people, like I said, in the group that's on Ascension Works TV, showing me similar stuff. You know, the triangle marks and the weird, you know, on the inner arm, they look like blood blisters. They're not. It's not a wound, an open wound. It's like under the skin. I mean, just weird, strange stuff like that.
That's
And so, yeah, it is weird. It's very
hope you
weird.
don't have nanoparticles in there.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah, it's freaky. It was weird. The one mark that I got, the first one I showed you that looked like a blood blister. I told Todd, I said we were going to visit his mom, and we were coming back from Chicago, and we were in the camper, and I said, well, at least they won't come get me now.
Hmm.
And it showed up that next morning
Oh.
after I took that picture in the camper.
Never say
I was like, okay,
that. Right.
guess I'm not safe anywhere. I actually said that to him. I'm like, at least I'll be able to sleep tonight,
Hmm.
and nope, apparently not.
So does Todd ever wake up with chunks out of his ear? Or
He has woken up with marks on his back
yeah?
that are similar. Now, like I said, you could explain it away and say, yeah, it's a spider bite, or maybe
Yeah,
scratch yourself.
I'm not jumping on that one.
But
I just
But he doesn't have chunks out of his ear and fingers or anything.
no.
Maybe you guys could switch sides of the bed and see if it starts happening to him. Maybe the hungry spiders are on that side.
she's on the portal side.
I want to get a trail cam to put by my bed to record me when I sleep to see if the spiders are getting me at night.
I kind of
I've
thought about doing that, but I'm like, I would imagine if they're as a technologically, see, to me, even what's happening, like these marks, that seems messy to me. That seems like something a human would do. Not, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It seems messy because I would think that if it is ETs, that they'd be more technologically advanced and you wouldn't be seeing stuff like that. That's just my opinion.
Sure. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Or it's just like, I'm scratching myself and it's just weird coincidences. Who knows? I don't know.
So did you guys go to any more of these events from the last time we talked? I know you went to
We went to Ascension Summit.
Ascension Summit?
Yep.
So how was that?
That was awesome. We had
Now, where was that at?
Apollo, and I was in Colorado.
In Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And Safalo was there?
Yeah, he was there. Yeah, Debbie was there. We had so much fun.
Wow, I bet. Wait, was that where people got poisoned? Or
yeah, there was some weird stuff that happened there.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was evident to me that these events that you're going to have infiltrators. Because when we went to our first one, as soon as we pulled into the place, we already had this straight. I mean, this was in DLD 2018. We brought our camper, and we were going to go set up. It was an open field. Pick anywhere where you want to go. And this guy was trying to get us next to his camper, and he was just all odd. I mean, his demeanor, his dress up, and I looked and I'm like, I got this. Don't worry about where we're at. And I got to where I wanted to go, and he comes over. I mean, I can go into the long story of all the people that came toward us and the stories that these people, the experiences that they had. We have one guy who doesn't want to come out just yet because of his businesses. He's actually from Minnesota. And but listening to his stories of inner earth experiences were just out of this. It was really incredible.
We met Niara. I got to hug Niara.
Oh,
and to push that one on her.
Niara.
I was like, Niara, you gotta have one of her hugs.
Poor Niara.
Yeah, I talked to her and she's shown some interest in coming on, but
I hope she does. Her story is amazing.
It has to be right for her though, so I completely understand that. So looking forward to that.
And we met Clifford Mahooty that time.
And he passed away recently.
Yeah, that just made me
flirting left and right with her. I came down. Are you flirting with my wife?
Who isn't flirting with your wife, Todd? That's the question.
Oh, but Clifford was a great guy. Oh my God. And he would sit and tell you a personal story about his life. Like
he was spending time with everybody there. I mean, he really was just, giving everybody his attention. And
And the real, real person.
But he saw the infiltration too, and I will tell you, we had an unusual exchange, and it was pertaining to that one strange fella that Todd and I had an encounter with in the beginning. There was a lot of weird stuff going on there, and I will say when we went to ESETI, there was a lot of weird stuff going on there too.
Oh man.
And then of course, what happened at Ascension Summit, where a lot of people got sick. I mean, there was some weird.
And right up your alley, Aaron, if you ever go anywhere, go to ESETI. I mean, the Skywatch.
That was amazing.
I mean, we saw the lights. We saw
It looked like a keyhole opening in the mountain. I mean, it literally looked like Todd had binoculars that were like really you could just see close up, and it was just
like just a doorway.
We were all just like, whoa.
And then you see all the craft flying toward, and they already had, scheduled out when the space station would go by and all that. So we eliminated
every night something was happening. I mean,
wow.
A lot of people were having personal experiences too.
And then I'm pretty sure I heard Bigfoot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I forget. Yeah, you didn't talk about that, did you?
Jermaine, Tyler, and all of us, we were trying to consider getting together at 2:00 and heading up to the mountain. And Jermaine pops out, I'm out there, and that's it. And he was all pissed that nobody else showed up, so he goes back to his camper, and then I hear these kids laughing kind of thing, and I'm like, where's this party? It's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, I must have been sleeping.
And then someone popped out, I think, who was it, Debbie or someone
I
popped
don't
out
know.
and told me that was the
sleeping.
Bigfoot. That it's like a poor imitation of a coyote or something.
Wow.
I can't say for sure.
I will tell you, when we were there, I was hiding in the camper. I could not handle what was going on there. I was picking up on.
Yeah, there was some definitely infiltration.
That I didn't like
the whole work.
what was going on. James was aware of it. I think he was trying to like take care of some of the, when we let him know some of the weird stuff that was happening. He was on top of it. But I think there was a lot of stuff that.
And that guy that came to you guys.
Yeah, that was weird too. Yeah.
Just a lot of strange. But the thing is, it seems to me that they're definitely disruptors that want to disrupt the UFO community, divide it, and some of it is working. But I think eventually, though, people are going to catch on, because all of us come from a background of being the conspiracy theorists or whatever. So we do check ourselves and question ourselves, and you have to sometimes pull back. Okay, I'm investing too much in this, and it's too captivating, and you have to be willing to back up from something that you got yourself vested in and question it. Always question.
Oh, you know what? I wrote this down.
Where is ESETI? Peggy Dancer is asking. It's out in Washington.
Washington. Yep.
Washington State.
Mount Adams is the mountain.
Mount Adams, Washington. Peggy Dancer.
No, it's Mount Adams is the mountain that ESETI faces.
Oh, okay.
It's ESETI Ranch. I don't know. I'd have to look at the map to see.
Isn't he building one in Hawaii too? I heard.
Oh, I don't know.
I heard that he is.
I don't know if James would take that on, because I thought he was trying to. I don't know. Maybe Aaron.
I just heard that recently. I can't remember who I heard that from.
Yeah, I mean, the experience was incredible, but like I said, there was a lot of.
The drive was incredible, but that's coming from.
I don't like the drive. That's a long drive. It was 30 hours.
I just thought the drive was just.
I mean, it was beautiful, but I sitting in a car.
Not a traveler.
I don't like sitting in the car that long. It kind of drives me nuts. But I will say it was worth it. I mean, going out there and experiencing that, and then when we went to going to Colorado too, when we went out to Corey's event, that was we went in and we were like, climbing on the rocks, and he almost killed me on the bike ride going down some of the hills, and kind of cussing Todd out then.
I'm accustomed to being cussed out.
I thought my brakes were gonna go out. So yeah, I wasn't too happy about that.
Just go fast and get to the bottom, steep. Get it over with.
They're pretty steep. But I mean, we had a great time out there. Everybody, we met Laura. I love her too. Um,
Oh yeah, she's cool.
I just love her.
She's very soft.
Yes,
Soft
yeah, she's such a
voice,
sweetheart.
soft look.
Yes.
And Mason
Very-
created.
Oh yeah, and yeah, we saw Mason and Trisha,
Oh wow, look at that.
and Mason made that.
We have to buy one now.
Christina Dobbs makes those too. She makes some.
Yep,
I want
I have to get one from her too.
Mhm.
She makes those too. She does an awesome job.
Wow.
Yeah, we had a great time. I mean, I just don't like the drive. You know, Todd doesn't mind, but I start getting antsy.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's coming up right now, I think, is Journey to Truth have their event coming up in Illinois. But other than that, I don't think there's anything else that I'm seeing that, you know.
Well, I mean, like Corey and Stacey are doing that. They're doing those classes,
Right.
but
But
I
a
don't know.
physical event, I don't think they're speaking
I
of
don't
any
know.
physical
I don't
event
know
just yet.
who's. Yeah, nobody's really mentioned anything yet. If there's anything coming up.
We've been kind of tinkering around with the idea of having something out here. I would love to have a camping event, you know, get a farmland, and,
Do it.
you know, but I would like to do it. The thing is, I'm not really into the speaker thing. I don't like holding people above me. I'd rather talk to the person at a round table as opposed to them standing on a stage and having to listen to their perception and their distortions.
Oh, hey,
I'd rather just have a communal
I
situation.
will tell you, there was a night. I want to say, in somebody in our group, and I don't know if they want to. I'm not going to say a name, but they had the same. They got attacked too. In their sleep, I got attacked. Woke up. It felt like somebody was taking my stomach and pushing it in, and I got jolted awake, and I could still feel it. And it took a minute for it to dissipate and stop. You know, because and in my dream, I was being attacked by an entity. So now, yeah, it could have just been a dream again, but I've seen these things. I think that the community's under, attack. I agree with Corey, and I have had so many people come to me and say the same things. You know, and they're begging for help because nobody knows what to do about this stuff. So.
Now, when you guys first met, I remember, I think it's from our last show, you mentioned that Todd was a little skeptical about your abilities. So you were on the phone with him and you said, "Oh, you're waving at me." He's going, "Oh," and he pulls his shirt and he goes, "You have a white t-shirt." And he's going, okay.
Well, that was his experience.
That was my experience
with
in
somebody else.
Atlanta.
Oh, it's somebody else. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't you?
No.
Oh.
No, I was dabbling around. It was funny too how there's a part of that story I didn't tell is that I was getting into astral projection. That was my thing it was in the 80s.
Oh, wow.
And I had a girlfriend at the time who just wasn't having that. And I got a Ouija board and I'm messing around with it. And she's, her and I are, using it and she's not having it. She's just going along just to go along. Well, I contacted something and I could feel that there was a negativity there. The things that it was saying that I did. Eventually, I forgot how this happened, but I know I ended up on the bed with something, just wavering through me.
Wow.
And then I took a crystal trying to do something to get rid of this thing because I had the chills. It was just really weird. So I put it in my right hand and I laid down trying to meditate, get it out, peace out or something. And then I felt this soft presence come down on top of me. It felt feminine and it made me switch my hand. And then I followed it and then it lifted off and then all of a sudden the hovering went away. So, and then I was trying to astral project and as I was actually starting to leave because I learned how to go about it. And then I felt my girlfriend at the time pull me back down. It was almost like indicative that she was aware that I wasn't ready. So I took it for that and I left it alone. But then that's where I met the woman in Atlanta who eventually convinced me that she could do it, called me up on the phone, and
My hair
sure
feels like it's
enough,
getting to my eyes.
she was able to identify everything in my apartment. And as I'm walking around, and you know, it was just really trippy. But that confirmed for me that that's the real world, that can be done.
Yes.
You know?
Now,
Well, I mean, and Aaron, I mean, a lot of this stuff kind of ties into what I talked about in the last video with, like I don't know if you remember, I did that one weird looking being ET pulled me to the end of the head, the bed by my head. I mean, I have,
right.
yeah, weird, but then of course,
By your head.
Huh?
He pulled you by your head.
He pulled me by my head. What a weird thing.
It was an alien. So how much was that alien mask, Todd?
You know, when Aaron sent it to me, I thought it's not going to work.
Well, I mean, there has been instances too where and I think I talked about this before, where you feel like you're dreaming, but you have this this sense that it's not a dream. Mm-hmm. And it's like you're super drugged up, super drunk, but you're still kind of cognitive of what's going on. I remember landing next to my bed. I think I told you about this too, where I was holding my head and I was dizzy, and I was like, and then the next thing I know, I'm in my bed, I'm sitting up and I'm dizzy, and I'm like, I was just standing over there. I know I was just standing over there, you know? Yeah. There was another instance where I felt hands under my butt and my back, like two pairs of hands. So like it was two, I don't know what. Stop.
Todd and his friend. Todd's hands and his feet. There you go.
No, but really, if you think about it, as we're moving forward with, the direction that these energies that we're coming into, I think more and more people are going to have
this
these.
One. You two are the worst. This is why I.
Well, you told the story, so no, you're telling the story. There were hands all over me. No, but I'm thinking that people are going to have a lot more experience of this nature, and it's as we talk more about it, it should be that people should feel more comfortable about talking about it.
Well, because, yeah, I mean, I think I have flashes of, I think I was on a craft. I mean, I have little, who, if I'm being taken, boy, they are wiping me really well, because I don't, but I will get bits and pieces of, how you start to question, it's like, did that happen? I have like a vague memory of being on a smaller craft, moving to a bigger craft, going into a bigger craft.
Okay.
Recently, I thought it was a dream, but it was just bits and flashes. I'm trying to think of some other stuff.
You know of the Travis Walton story, right?
Oh, yeah.
The real story as opposed to the movie version, right?
Right. The movie version was dark and dirty, and it wasn't like that.
Right. But the real version was, that's just to me. And then the other would be Sherry Wild. Her experiences were extraordinary. I encourage people to look into her information. I think she has a book called
and she would get dropped off, and it was Da.
Yeah.
The
Forgotten Promise, I believe it is.
Oh, that was another thing. I just remembered that you brought that up. I woke up and I saw, I think it was Da. Was it Da? Remember I told you?
Yeah, you said
being written. It was being written in the air.
Wow.
Yeah, just weird stuff like that will happen. And then somebody else had.
Well, here's the thing with her. When you listen to her stories, you think she's just crazy, right? I used to think
my family's gonna see this and be like,
no. I used to think that she was a little bit on the nutty side. I mean, imagination wild. She was downstairs once, and she was like, "Someone's looking at me. Someone's always freaking looking at her at her computer downstairs." And I'm like, "Nobody's freaking looking at you, Carrie. Just stop. You're just paranoid every day." One day, I was like, "Frick it. I'm going outside. I'm gonna find out if anyone's looking." I go outside because she was so insistent someone's looking. I go in the front window, and there's this dude looking in the window. And I'm like, what the F are you doing? He's like, oh, my wife, I'm looking for my wife. And he runs in this car and he drives off. I'm like, and I'm just like dazed. I come in the house, I'm looking at I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it because it's like, no.
Sorry.
There's more to it, but
Wow.
I just don't question her. I don't question it.
I think the recent advent of these cheap drones, I think for these peeping toms,
Yeah.
wow. Close your shades,
It's not gonna be
everybody.
a thing
Close
anymore.
your shades. Man. Yeah,
Well, what's even worse is these fake deeps, more and more, if that's going to be a thing, we're not going to be able to believe what happens on media because they can take your face and reconstruct and make you say things and do things that you didn't do. We're going to have to question everything. Our reality is just going to be, because
or it could be our new excuse.
we're dealing with the infiltration of this AI.
Yeah, the AI is a really huge problem. That's the one thing that the solar flash is going to solve. It's going to kill all the AI, all nanites and everything.
And we probably are all infiltrated.
This
Who
right
knows?
here, Verizon or all these phone companies,
Mhm.
you want to pay your bill, it's no longer talk to a customer rep or there's no more people. It's all bots.
Yeah.
You're chatting to a bot. You can't get anything done if you have a unique, isolated situation. You can't talk to a person. It's all bot.
I know
And
it.
you can't pay. They're eliminating cash. I can't pay from my checking account. I have to pay with credit card. And then now I heard Biden did an executive order to have the Federal Reserve objectively look at cryptocurrency.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So are we moving? They're trying to push this so-called Great Reset. I know we got this divided hopium story over here of Nassar Gassar, which I'm sorry, I'm not feeling that.
I never really. I just think it's an opportunity for a co-opting.
Yeah.
Any new money system, people are going to say that's what it is.
Mhm.
The bottom line is we have to just stop complying.
You know what?
It'd be nice if it was true, but
I am terrified, and I will say, and I agree with Corey wholeheartedly on this, that they are ushering this AI, and they are trying to monetize the money system to become digital, because you could shut off somebody's life by just a click of a mouse and
yeah.
if you've got everything digitalized. Talking about Musk talking about putting implants in people's brains.
Yeah.
I mean, this is insanity to me, and that people are even willing to accept this as some type of normal.
But the catch-all would be the video games to try and lure you into their metaverse or their gaming, virtual gaming. And they're making it so that in a way, if you want to survive, you have to comply. That's how they're lining it up. Yeah. There's got to be a point where you have to draw your line and say, hey, no. And I got my no point. I got my line drawn.
Yeah.
And that's what everyone has to come to that point.
I mean, and when I'm hearing, and I didn't want to bring this up, but when I hear people promoting Musk or any of these deep state, they've got people. And Aaron, I don't know if you want to go into this or if you want to stay off the politics stuff. Maybe we shouldn't. We don't want you to get monetized.
Well, I do want to say something about Elon Musk. Now, we all know he's an entrepreneur. He's got SpaceX and Tesla and whatever else he's got. But he must not be very smart, because because he hasn't come out with Elon Musk, the cologne, it would be so easy to do. See. And show him shooting off in a rocket or taking off in his car. Elon Musk, new from Elon Musk.
Everything is, and that's a love and light approach. He's definitely trying that love and light approach to pull people in. And if he did do a Musk, that'd just be another love and light approach.
Just great nanites all over.
Oh yeah, maybe you don't want it. Yeah. Elon Musk bots.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. I'll start building your Teslas now.
Well, I said there's so much going on behind the scenes with that guy. Wasn't he doing some kind of shady stuff at some? Where was that at?
Oh, there was some in New York. They had some scandal.
I can't remember.
Oh,
I'd have to look
there's
it
a
up.
few
I know it
scandals
wasn't
that,
it wasn't it one of his own factories?
yeah, he pulled away.
And
Well,
I just thought for people to be promoting that, and when I see these people, they bring up the situation that's going on right now. I'm not gonna say it because, like I said, I don't want
okay.
trip
Sure.
words are but certain individuals, that we know are, I would say,
AI profits.
certain,
But
uh,
that's the direction you're going.
I want to say blank state.
Oh, deep state.
Yeah, we know that these people are affiliated with the blank state, and that they're bad. So if they're standing up for a certain country, maybe you should question if that country is infiltrated. You know what I mean?
Of course, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that narrative alone, if people just slow down and just, when you see someone like the likes of, what is Marina
Yeah, I
Abramovich
would be real careful about
supporting,
names.
I mean,
You don't want Aaron to get booted off.
well, I'm not even
Maybe.
saying it right.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
but,
she's
but you see the likes of these folks supporting, I
spirit
mean,
cover.
you got to question. Media's got to be questioned. The reason why that I say media needs to be questioned, there was a law passed back in 2012, HR 5736,
yeah,
and it allows the media to legally propagandize the public.
right.
And given that, that means everything is the media is the stage.
It's
In
questionable.
fact, if you watch you watch CNN or whatever, what's in between commercials? It's entertainment. It falls under the category of entertainment. So everything that comes out of there, that's why they call it fake news, because it's not real. These are just actors, stage performances. So
And-
all our little shooting events or whatever, you have to question, especially when they can't get the story straight. They're all over the place with the story. One shooter, two shooters, they can't make up their mind. It should be simple as plain as day.
Aaron, I wanted to ask you, I'm not trying to cut Todd off, but have you taken any more of those shots from the International Space Station and like lightened them up?
yeah,
Anything
yeah.
else? Have you got any more stuff?
I thought I think it was a couple episodes ago, 3 or 4 episodes ago. I saw something and I was all excited about it, and I did a show. I actually discovered it on the show because I did it. Oh, look at that thing!
Oh, really?
And I thought, oh, it doesn't quite look like a ship, but I don't know what an alien ship looks like. But then the next day I thought, I better do my due diligence. And I went back on there and I sifted through tons of footage and I found that same angle, but with the light coming from, more lit up, more during the daytime.
Okay.
And I found out the thing that looked like it was floating in the air was attached. It was just a little boom coming.
Oh,
But the other two things I found were real.
yeah, those were
One
amazing.
looks like maybe I can pull that up.
Yeah.
I'll look for that. Let's see. Yeah, I'll look for that.
Now, didn't they cut off some of these observatories? Is that still available if they shut them down? My understanding, they haven't allowed the public to go into some of these observatories to, look up.
Oh, I hadn't heard that. That could very well be. But I wanted to say something about the news. Back when I was younger, you had, the morning news, and you had like dinner time news, and then 8 o'clock and maybe 10 o'clock. That's it, right?
Right.
About a half hour each, and maybe an hour if you're lucky. But now we got 24-hour news, and they're not covering any more news. They're not. They could be covering lots of things, but they don't.
When was the last time you seen a van to drive around with the anchor crew? I've not seen. I think the difference is reporters versus journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Reporters only. They're not journalists. They just report. They just speak a narrative. We don't have journalists anymore. There's no investigative journalists because they're told what the narrative is, and they just spew it out.
Mhm.
That's why you see those repeats, on all the newscasts. It's just all brainwashing and programming. That's why they call it a program.
Well, yeah, it's just propaganda too. I mean, that's all you see, and it's
Television.
the same propaganda over and over again. I mean, I was just complaining about that today. If you go on to Facebook News, that's all they have.
I
It's
mean, hell,
propaganda.
our words are spells. If you think about it, that's why you have spelling.
Mhm. Yes. Isn't that weird?
We definitely live in a matrix.
Yes. Okay, I found it.
Did you?
Hmm. This is one of the pictures of it that I have. And so I think this is going to work. So
You see Shatner up there, Todd?
yeah, William Shatner. Yeah, ever since he went into space, he wants to be in space. So whenever my spaceship takes off, he jumps on. I can't stop it. Can't stop William Shatner. He loves space. So there it is.
Yeah, that is just trippy.
So
What is that?
yeah, it was right here, right? In fact, I think I can manipulate this picture here and you can see it show up. I'll do the same process to it. It's going to lighten up the bottom picture too much, but you can see on the top.
Space junk.
You see it right there?
Yeah.
You see it?
Wow. Yep.
Okay. Now that's far away and huge. It's huge. Okay, so now that you see it here, we'll go back to this. So that's what it looks like. And to me, what it looks like is this part right here is a gigantic base. I think this is the end of it. And it goes along here away, almost like this is the end of a Walmart building and this is the side of the Walmart building. And then on top would be where these ships would be. Like there could be another one here, another one here. That's what I think it looks like.
But we can presume this is still
it's
Earth
space.
made.
It's space junk. That's what they would tell.
But I mean, this is a Earth.
That's too big to be space junk. Look at how big that is. If
Yeah.
it's that far away and it's that flipping big.
It looks like something that was built by someone from planet Earth.
Yeah.
A little bit ahead of what we have now. So, and nothing you can see up here, there's nothing lit up. So they're probably trying to keep it secret.
In that one corner, I remember you showed there was something going on, like off in the distance. It would be if you're looking at it, you're to your lower right. Right above her is, I don't know if it was in this picture or a different one.
Well, there's this dot here, and there was another one over here somewhere, but it's being covered by the logo, I think. But I don't know if those are stars or if they're ships or what they are. But
and didn't you say you were just trying to lighten the background to see if you could see stars showing up?
Yeah, I was just checking to see if I could see stars, and this thing popped up.
Wow.
And I went, whoa, what the heck is that?
That is
I'm actually working on a digital drawing of this. And I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it sideways and have it so it's the way I'm envisioning that it might be. Now I'm going to be guessing a little bit, but yeah, I think that's a major find.
Yeah, I think so too.
It doesn't look that much different from what we got. I mean, these look like solar panels right here, solar panel.
It looks like something that was built
Yeah,
out
but
there,
why?
Like this is a ship right here connected to this base-like unit here.
Do you guys remember Corey talking about, and I have a strong feeling about this, that there are some type of machines out there that are doing some type of massive mind control on this planet.
Oh yeah.
I have noticed that you will talk to people that you would consider normal.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll be telling them and trying to maybe even red pill them a little bit. And they will give you the blank stare, almost like they can't hear you. And if they can hear you, they go into complete denial.
Mm-hmm.
Or they just stare at you like you said nothing at all.
But see, that's
numerous times.
But that's our mistake, though, because we have to really approach people with
Yeah, but
their
I think
sensibilities.
there is a type of mind control going on. That's not normal.
But there's still an approach that we need to start practicing, and that's first appeal to their sensibilities. I mean, they need, a lot of people need that tangible.
You can do that and they will
So
still...
to me, things like the Georgia Guidestone, that's a tangible thing that you could look up and find multiple pictures of and just ask for an explanation. Can you give me an explanation of why it's there, why it's protected? I mean, and then I use this approach with someone that had been, coming at me on my page. I figure I'll use a new tactic and just be as, sensible
Aaron,
as I
I'm
can
trying to
be.
find when you sent me, because I swear there was another one, those pictures you sent me, where it was like,
Yeah, those 2 pictures.
there was some weird stuff in the...
Let me see.
Now to me, and this is how I described when I saw a sphere being, it's almost like I just found this. I must have sent this to you. I'm sorry, I got that distracted by this. Because and it wasn't a light blue like I've heard other people say. To me, it was a it looked like this. That's the color. Oh, I gotta get close. That.
Oh, like a blue?
Yeah, like a indigo.
What is that now?
When I saw the sphere beings, that's the color they looked to me.
Oh, okay.
They
Is
were.
that a picture of one?
I don't know what this is. I can't remember where I found this, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, it looks like one."
Oh,
And
okay.
I took a picture of it, and I'm trying to remember where I found this. I think somebody had sent it to me, and I was like, "Yep, that's how they looked to me." They looked electric, and but it wasn't just. I'm thinking about it now. It wasn't just one color. It was like, but they had like a hint of purple, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Like a true indigo, I don't know.
Oh, just to throw in, Carrie, we come to the conclusion that when they throw up a Bigfoot sighting, that's usually a clue that they're going to be doing
A false flag. And
she found one today.
somebody posted it. It was I think it was on Facebook News, and I thought, oh boy. And I remember years ago when I was doing research, somebody made a point that every time they would see that it's a Bigfoot sighting in the news, there would be some type of false flag event taking place.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't remember where I heard that, but it seemed like it was true too, because I would notice.
Wow.
My only thing is the terminology. When they say false flag, it was always been my understanding that in a false flag, that means people will die. In a hoax, that means it's just a show.
Why am I having trouble finding
So I always question that terminology, because the only false flag I ever knew of was 9/11, where there were, and I don't know if Oklahoma, anyone
You're going
passed
to get
away.
him demonetized or taken off.
I could
You
say,
need to be careful about what words you say.
shut your trap.
Yeah. Flags of false origins is how BCP says it.
Yeah, I think you should do that. I think we should be careful about what we're saying, Todd, because we don't need.
I was pretty general.
I think
I was pretty general.
We don't need Aaron getting pulled off of YouTube.
okay. I'm looking for another picture of the space station here. All I have is this one. So
Yeah, you sent me one, and there was something going on in the corner. I remember.
okay. Here, well, let's check this. Maybe this is what you're talking about.
Now you just got stills. You don't have video, right?
No.
Yeah, see, it was like, do you see down?
Right
Down
here?
Yep.
Yeah, and up here too.
Yeah. And
I don't know if those are stars. They could be stars, or they could be ships, like little shuttles going back and forth.
yeah, who knows?
Who knows what they are? Yeah. But yeah, that's why I made this picture bigger to include all that stuff. So
That's trippy.
this is actually a better picture of that anomaly.
It is, actually.
Yeah, it's a little easier to see. So thanks for remembering that. But the other one's good because it shows, the origin of it and where it was, in the footage. And I haven't been able to find it since.
Well, what perplexes me is that we have Space Force, but we don't hear any news about what's going on with Space Force. It just keeps getting muddled away.
They're just starting. You see, here's little things here and there, but they're just starting off. So,
but have they really? I mean, I don't. I personally don't buy they just started. They only just started to be
right.
acknowledged in
Right.
the public view, but we know
Exactly.
in there.
Right.
You know, that one video that I don't know. Have you seen that, Aaron? Where these military, I think these young guys in the Marines or something were being,
Be right back.
I guess they were being prepared and for a potential of what they're going to be seeing out there. So this guy comes in to, you know, let them know about the ETs that they could, you know, be seeing and what have you, and they were just kind of poo-pooing it, but it was kind of interesting. It's particularly, you could tell these were jarheads, and they were really, you know, this was really a military briefing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you've seen that or not. If not, I'll reshare it.
I don't think I did.
Oh,
Hey, here's another shot of that thing. And this, you can see the earth below. You can see how white it looks. This is how bright I had to make this darn thing show up. And this too. So it's obviously not a part of this. Otherwise it would be just as bright as this thing up here.
well, the top part, the craft, I thought I've seen that before as a craft.
Yeah, I've looked. I have not found this angle. It's like they turned that camera off at some point. I don't know. Maybe because this thing is there and people were starting to notice it. I don't know, but there are many different cameras aboard the ISS, and
And you would think they'd have, you know, technology, they would have a little bit more clarity too.
mhm.
Stick my face right in the camera. That's nice.
Okay. I'm trying to find the other thing that I found. Not finding it. That's okay. Yeah. So did you find something? No?
I just ran to the restroom.
Oh, okay. So that's another picture of it. It shows these two dots as well. But it's so bright. I had to brighten it up a bunch of times to get it this bright to see this darn thing. But it is pretty, I mean, it's pretty crisp. It's pretty visible. So I do think it is something. I tried to find out what it was. I contacted, Space Force. I contacted NASA. And I couldn't. I mean, there's no phone number. There's only like one phone number. I talked to a couple people, but they weren't in any kind of position to know anything.
So you weren't
it's
even
just weird
you
looking.
weren't able to even forward the images because you were already shut down, or were you able to forward your images?
I mean, you don't think that's some type of satellite, but if it is, it's huge. I mean,
it looks like a launching point, like a base, and with a
yeah,
launcher.
big.
Like I can imagine there'd be 5 or 6 of those darn things, and there's only one there now. But that's just my interpretation of it. It's obviously just one view, and it's hard to say. There's not a lot of data there to really analyze, but there is something.
Yeah.
It definitely is something. Yeah. So that was my big one.
Well, I don't know. I'm just tired of this.
It makes me wonder, has anybody else done this? I mean, somebody else has had to attempt this and caught stuff.
Right. Yeah. Well, I've seen some stuff. Yeah, definitely.
That's really.
What I was about to say is I would like to see this as a normacy. I'm tired of this humdrum world. I mean, it's funny for me. I've been watching some old shows on TV, the reality shows.
Yeah.
Particularly, I've been watching Wife Swap just because it's just good with me. But
then he tries to involve me,
and she gets involved.
I'm like, I do not want to watch stupid reality TV shows.
But I'm more looking at what's going on in the physical, and I'm noticing we have not really had any advances. The show that I started at, it was 2012, and up to now, I'm not seeing any technological changes. Only thing that we've had is new phones, which really all you're improving on is what, the camera?
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
Right.
I don't see any changes. We have not had any breakthroughs of any type that I know of.
Mhm.
The progress has been really slow, and I'm trying to figure that one out. So, and hence why they want to push this going into this metaverse, because they think they're intriguing us. I don't want to go into a more limited world. I want
Right.
our consciousness to expand and go into more an expansive world.
Exactly.
Direct opposite of what they're trying to do.
Right.
So,
Well, and they're starting to roll out some of the new vehicles too. Did you hear about this? The new kind of cars that don't use oil or gas?
yes, as to why they're lifting the gas prices.
Right. So this is what they're trying to usher in, folks. Check this out. This is the latest in new automotive technology, not using any gasoline. So this is where we're at, folks. No gas, no electric, zero emissions.
Definitely down for that.
There you go. That solves a lot of problems, right there.
Kind of got Flintstone feet, so
It goes very good downhill, I heard.
he's got some nice flat, wide feet that'll work.
Yes. Courtesy of Fred's Blue Feet. Yeah.
She's got alien toes.
Oh, really?
And yeah, she gets visited for sure. And I proved it to her.
Yeah. Because of her toes.
He drew alien faces on my toes there. I woke up and there were little alien faces on my toes.
That's funny. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
That's what I love.
She was insisting she's being visited, so I
this was even before I had all that crazy stuff happen. He was drawing little aliens on my toes even then. Hey, that was when we were first married even.
Yeah, she wants to talk about my feet. Show them your toes.
No.
Little aliens.
Oh. I'm working on a graphic novel too, and here's one of the pictures I'm working on.
Oh, cool. Aaron, you are so talented.
That's me. That's actually me.
Is it? Let me see. Put it closer. I want to see. Oh, it does look like you.
It is.
Yeah. I love that.
Then when you pull it off, Elvis.
It doesn't miss the hair.
The hair goes right back to the.
It doesn't miss the hair. That's the key.
Does it just sits on top?
Yeah. Yeah.
Old for
one time when I was working at the dealership up here a few years ago, it was winter time, and when you work at a car dealership, when it snows, you got to go brush the cars off, right? And move them around for the plow. And so everyone was going out. We all went out at the same time because it was a slow day. And everyone's bundled up. They got mittens, gloves, boots, hat. And I go out there, I got no hat on. And all the guys, it's very cold out, as it does get very cold up here.
Yes.
And so one of the guys goes, "Hey, Aaron, where's your hat?" And I said, "You see this hair? Yeah, this here's thermal hair. I don't need a hat." There you go. That's what I did.
I used to have so much hairspray in the 80s in my hair that and my girlfriend and I would
every now and then
catch flies in our hair. There was such a that's awesome, Aaron. I love that.
That was Halloween time when I worked when I worked at the daycare. So their teacher came dressed like that.
Oh, that's cute. I bet the kids love that.
He's a time traveling superhero.
Oh, how old were you there?
This was back in right around the turn of the century, about 1999, 2000.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's that's it. I'm working on a new suit, a much better suit.
I love that you worked with kids and that you worked in a daycare. I love that, Aaron.
It's weird because the way I got my first daycare job was very bizarre because It was the early 80s, and there was a recession going on in Minnesota, all over the country.
Yeah, I remember that.
And so I was unemployed for a long time. There were no jobs. I mean, I'm not going to tell you where I applied, but so the state created this program to help people to write resumes, to work on your interview skills for interviewing for jobs. And they also created jobs, state paid jobs to get people back into the workforce. It was only like $4 an hour or something like that. And then the company could give you a little more if they wanted to. And so I asked the lady, I said, well, I'm a toy inventor, so I'd like to have something, maybe at a toy store. She goes, well, I don't have anything like that, but I have an opening here at Alice Smith Elementary School for a teacher's aide. She goes, maybe you could show the kids your ideas. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. I never thought of that. And then when I walked into Alice Smith Elementary School, okay, I was like 18 or 19 or something like that.
Wow.
I walked into the school and I went, whoa. It like looked a lot like the school I went to. And I had this sudden realization of holy crap moly. I don't think I've learned anything since then. It's like I shouldn't even be an adult. I don't feel like I should be this tall, So anyway, so that was how I got that job. And I walked into the classroom, and my cousin was in the class. He was in second grade. Pat Shevik, my mom's sister's son.
Really?
So yeah, it was really kind of cool. Like, wow. Hi, Pat. That was really kind of cool.
I mean, you're still kind of a kid yourself. I mean, I think, when I think kid,
Yeah. But when they found out that I like to do art, that I was doing all the bulletin boards and everything. And one of the other teachers there at Ellis Smith Elementary School in Hopkins, Minnesota, she was walking by and she was noticing the stuff in the room. And she came in there and asked me if I wanted to teach gifted children in 2nd to 4th grade classes. I said, well, I don't know how qualified I am. And she goes, well, I can see by what you're doing, you're qualified. I said, okay. So I taught 2 classes, one on cartooning and one on toy inventing. And they loved it. They loved it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
God, you can't do that nowadays. Everything is ruled and curriculum based, and
I know, yeah.
I remember when our 2 younger boys were. Kindergarten to me, when I was little, that was where you started to learn your ABCs. They expect these kids to read sentences, know their alphabet, start learning math. I mean, I'm like, that was the whole point of kindergarten. Now you have to send your kid to preschool in order so that they are ready for kindergarten.
Yeah.
That's a joke to me.
Well, do you know why, though? According to my training, was that between ages of 3 and 4, the mind loses 40% of its connections. Whatever is not being reinforced goes away. Goes away for life. So they had to go, okay, we got to get down to 4, and we got to get down to 3, but if all they're doing is indoctrinating, that's not teaching. That's not.
And that's what they do.
They should teach kids how to think.
Gotta let kids be kids
well, the
too.
problem is education. They motivate. They don't inspire.
Well, some friends of mine have a great show on YouTube, Raising Star Seeds. And I think I saw some of them in the.
Oh, is that Heidi and
Heidi Pop and
Abby.
Abby.
Yeah.
Yep. Heidi and Abby
also does.
Yeah, Wendy's doing something too. She Parenting Through Ascension or something like that.
Oh, I think that's what I saw in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's doing that one?
Wendy.
I think you had her on.
Wendy
yes. That's who I saw. Yes, that's Wendy. Hello, Wendy. I knew that's someone I know. But yeah, I should have her back on again too.
Yeah, I think she was doing. I think she was picking up something again that she had. Well, I forgot what now. My brain. I have the worst memory. I forgetting everything lately.
Yeah, I can't remember half the things I've forgotten for sure. But um, there is some research on memory, though. So if you have someone that has Alzheimer's or dementia, look up on YouTube. There's this video that these researchers, they found that when they flash light at a certain hertz, like a 47 hertz or something, it triggers these amyloid plaque things in your brain to clean up your memory, and you get your memory back just from flashing lights. So take grandpa to the disco when they got the strobe light going.
Really?
Yeah. And there's some companies making, glasses with the flashing, but I'm not sure if those are the exact same or if just some grifters trying to,
I always thought it was a factor of metals that have been put in, that gone past the brain barrier.
that might be what's making these, but what flashing does is it replaces the natural flashing that's supposed to happen inside your brain that triggers these little things to go and clean up.
David Wilcock had talked about that, didn't he?
I don't know.
He brought that up
I
before.
mean, this has been out for a while. It's been out for a couple of years, and but
that just makes me it makes me think of the William Rife machine that William Rife was using.
Well, she's been pressing with me to take more iodine. Iodine it's never been put into salt the way they said, and that is a strong means to get rid of metals.
And table salt is not good for you anyway.
Yeah,
it scars up your arteries.
Yeah, it's just made from ground up tables, so you don't want to take table salt.
No, actually, there's.
I was waiting for all the dad jokes, and here they are.
No, we're a big proponent of taking in red salt.
Oh yeah,
because my understanding, table salt has silica.
That's because we chop up reds.
Because table salt has silica.
Okay, I'm almost out.
Silica scores the arteries.
Himalayan
right.
Oh yeah, yep.
We use Redmond salt.
I will tell you, Aaron. I think a lot of people have this misconception that they should be doing sea salt, but there's so much microplastic in the ocean that I wouldn't even. I would get some salt from some deep mines like Redmond's or Himalayan.
Because we're electric beings. I mean, we need it's
but I don't think people important. Still need to. They still need to find sources of iodine in supplements because we are all deficient in it, and it actually.
I don't take any of that.
Don't you?
No.
It pulls mercury out of your brain. So I mean, it's not, and every one of your cells. But if you're getting it in the food that you're eating, then you're fine.
No.
Where is it in the food unless you're taking in kelp or something?
Well, yeah, kelp. There's a lot of seafood. There's a lot of things.
I don't eat seafood. So okay, this deep in the Himalayan mountains. More than 200 million years ago. That's when this started. Oh, expiration date next month.
Yeah.
Expiration date. 200 million years, but it's going to expire.
Buy more and throw that away.
This pink mountain must be pretty huge because they're making those big lamps out of them, and they got the salt.
Yeah.
When is this mountain going to disappear?
I don't know.
Well, isn't the salt mines from the Redmonds, isn't that under Utah?
Yeah, they're claimed to have 54 trace minerals, and then the red salt's a Himalayan, supposedly 84.
Yeah.
But what I was getting at is the table salt has the silica, which scars the arteries, which then the white blood cells try to come in, and then it restricts the blood flow. Thus, you have high blood pressure.
Right.
And yet all these people out here trying to avoid salt. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The misinformation in the medical community from the Rockefeller, initiative. I mean, to live with your condition and not, there's no cures.
I live with a condition.
Salt is good for your brain. Yeah. They say that marriage is like a paragraph, but it's more like a sentence.
I get it back. That's all right. I see. I promised I wasn't going to do the embarrassing thing
I
and
didn't
blah blah
embarrass you.
blah.
I didn't embarrass
Mhm.
you.
I had my
You have
props.
been behaving.
I had my props last time,
Surprisingly, he's
right?
been behaving.
I
I told him if he acts up, I'm
Mhm.
getting up and leaving.
I didn't
So
say
he's
anything about the
behaving
pea
himself.
story or anything.
It's about green peas. He doesn't like green peas, and she makes them all the time. That's the story, folks.
I
If you're wondering.
do it.
So it's all about food. It's all about food.
Don't even.
Come on.
I know when his nostrils will start to flare when he's up to no
Can
good.
I tell it?
Like no.
Yeah. People can tell when I'm starting to do a dad joke now too.
Do your nostrils start to flare? you
Yeah, they're flaring.
don't.
No, I was trying to change the subject. I was trying to go to a subject that
Okay. Don't. Just don't.
Okay.
He's in trouble already now.
Well,
You already told everybody Eddie Seti and Brad.
that was the icebreaker for Corey Good and Stacy.
oh yeah?
The pea story.
He said he? He said he?
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're already talking about it. Why can't I tell the story? We're already talking about it.
Let's change the subject.
Mm-hmm.
So how did Shatner get up there?
Yeah, he just jumps on the ship every time I'm ready to leave. And I'm like,
He's out there floating around.
William, he wears his old Captain Kirk shirt and he wants to get back in space. I can't let him
Learned
in.
how to swim first so he could have saved his wife.
Whoa, that's dark, Todd. Oh, stop.
I missed that one, but I don't want to hear it.
That's terrible.
Well,
That's dark.
just saying the obvious.
Woo! I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole. Oh.
Yeah, here's some more pictures of that suit. Check it out. Can you see it?
Now, where did you
I
didn't
made
make that, did you?
I made it. Yeah, I made it.
Wow, you did?
I'm making another one now. I'm going to make a bunch of them. Yeah.
So what kind of materials are you making it out of?
Plastic.
Really?
Yeah, I made that. I made that, and my friend made Eric Thorne's costume in one night, and we shot footage because it was going to. We were planning on sending it to Ridley Scott because he was interested in the product to make it into a movie, and
Cool.
but they decided not to do it. But my boss would not let us send the film we made in one night. We made the costumes and we shot this footage in one night, and it was actually pretty incredible.
Wow.
Pretty incredible. But
I don't know if you know, there's a gentleman, Patrick, or no, I forgot it's Crowley. His last name was Crowley. It's a kid that was in the Apple Valley that not a kid, but a young adult. But anyway, he made a concept film and called The Gray State. Really interesting. It was basically showing, what we're going through right now. Apparently, though, it was it seemed like they took this guy out, but they reported that he killed himself and his family. But I don't buy that.
Yeah, wasn't that in
all.
2014? No, that was
It was
before.
some time
I remember. Yeah, and we were just catching on to it, starting to spread it, and then I think they took.
And then they had
They suicided him.
Yeah, they disinfoed him on Netflix.
wow.
They were scared about something getting out.
Yeah. So right in our neighborhood, not too far from us.
That was just so sad. And then to make it look like his family was the victim and he was the perpetrator was really disgusting.
You can still find his YouTube video on. There's a couple of them versions of it, but really interesting considering what's going on right now.
Gray State. Okay, I'll look that up.
Yeah, GRA or GREY? GRAY.
Gray State. All right.
I think he was trying to get funding too, wasn't he?
I think just the trailer alone is all he really needed, because that's where he put all his money into, just the trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think he was trying to get somebody to buy the.
And it's
to
basically about
fund
what's
the
going on right now.
script.
And once you got the trailer, all you use a truck to pull the trailer with, and you're set.
He did his own bum.
Somebody has to do it.
Don't have her do it though. Dad jokes are better than mom jokes.
Are they? Yeah. I don't know. Mom jokes. Yeah. I haven't really seen many mom jokes.
No, they peter out pretty quick.
Okay, so here is my buddy's suit that he made in that night. This is just.
Are there people in the comments, Aaron, talking? Or no? Is it pretty
Let's see. Mud Rabbit. Tim is there. Let's see. Just Josh. Dad joke. LOL. James Rohrbeck. Okay, here it is. This is my buddy. The rest in peace, Ray Kramer, aka right here, Eric Thorne, or what was the other name he had for himself? Colonel Carnage. Eric Thorne was Colonel Carnage.
Wow.
Colonel Carnage.
So did you guys like, are you using like a mold, and are you pouring the plastic in to?
No, it's not pouring. So what we did was we made the forms out of it's a foam. It's kind of a tan colored foam. It's used by taxidermy people. It's taxidermy foam. And it's nice because you can cut it out on the bandsaw, whatever shape you want. Then you can shape it with just like 80 grit sandpaper, and you can make whatever shape you want very quickly. That's why we were able to make these suits in one night.
Wow.
Once you got the form, and it has to be, it has to be angled like this. It can't have any undercuts, because if the plastic goes under, it's going to grab it. So you have to know what you're doing when you're making it. And then when you're done with the form, you bring it to the vacuum former, which is a big machine. And you put the form on this grate of holes. And then you put a piece of plastic in. You cut a piece of plastic, you put it in the top like a frame. You pull the heat thing over it. It heats up, and then it like sags. And once it reaches a certain sag, you click the button or pull the lever, whichever kind of vacuum former it is. And that frame comes down around that form with the holes around it, and it sucks air. So it vacuum forms the plastic around that mold.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So then when you're done, when it cools off, you pop that foam piece out, and you've got a hard plastic piece in the shape that you made. It's a really, really cool.
Now, did you learn
technology.
that when you were making toys?
Oh yeah, we use it
Okay.
that for a lot for making toys. Yes, and I used to have a dental vacuum former that dentists used. It was only like 4x4. You could only pull pieces like that big,
Yeah.
but it was kind of cool.
God, if you could incorporate a 3D printer into all this, you could really just go somewhere.
Well, but a 3D printer, the problem with 3D printing is finishing, because when you're done, it's this layered thing. You have to go back and sand it. Vacuum forming, you don't have to sand it. It's perfect. So I prefer this way than, plus to do something that big you'd need a big machine, 3D printer. And those things take so long. Like I said, we made those suits in one night. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 10 different pulls. But when you pull the plastic, then you have to cut the side of the plastic. You cut it out, you have to trim it. So, and then you got to paint it. So we did all that in one night. Do you believe it? I mean, I still can't believe we did it. it's pretty.
How old were you when you did this?
How old was I? Well, I'm, let me see. How old was I? Old enough to know better, I think.
It was in like the 90s or the 80s, you guys?
It was in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely in the 90s. It was in the early 90s. Okay, early 90s. So I don't know what age I was.
Aaron, I swear, I remember seeing you with my sister on the public access. Were you
We
doing
were,
it? Were you
we were
doing
on
it?
there. Yeah, yeah. We were on there. Yeah.
I swear, I remember seeing you then. That it's just ironic to me that now we're sitting here having a conversation.
Yeah. You know, we did cable access. We did a bunch of shows. We did XTV, Extreme Television, Minnesota's only music video showcase.
Yes, I swear I remember. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That even went to normal TV. It went to UHF channel.
Yes.
They renamed it Video Nation. But when I was there, it was XTV, Extreme Television, Minnesota's
I'm
only.
gonna tell my
music
sister this
show.
because she's gonna be like, I know she's gonna be like, yeah, I remember that.
We had Zuzu's Pedals on there. We had Soul Asylum. We had all kinds of Minnesota artists on there. And
Yes, I vaguely remember that too. Yeah.
and then I did a show called Commercial Break. And that
Okay.
was where I did fake commercials. That's where I did lens crackers, you know.
I swear I remember some of those. Like I swear I've seen
Well,
them.
what we did was, so we did it at the Mound Studio, Channel 20 in Mound, Minnesota.
Okay.
So Mound was the only place that would see those. But when we're done editing the tapes, we take them, make copies, and bring them to other stations all around the metro area. So we had, at one time, we had a potential 3 million people could have been watching it. We had no way of knowing.
I swear I've seen some of the goofy skits you did. And I'm like, why does that look familiar to me?
Yeah, you probably did.
I think I did.
We were shopping those around pretty heavy back then.
That's
That
funny.
was fun. That was fun. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Now, there was another guy who had a show, and I want to get him on the show sometime. It was called Got My Own Show with TV's Bob Connolly. Now, he was TV's Bob Connolly because he had a cable access show called Got My Own Show. So the only reason he was TV's Bob Connolly is because he had this little show. But what he did, it was pretty humorous. He would do this segment in his show. It was a talk show. But he'd say, okay, now we're going to do this other segment. It's called Phone Fun. It's where we have fun on the phone. And so he says, okay. So he calls up this country kitchen and he says, hey, yeah, this is Jim over at the other country kitchen around other side of town. Say, we're out of eggs. You got any extra eggs? Oh, yeah, we got some. How many need? About a case. Sure. We'll send a guy to pick it up. He goes, we got a case of eggs. We're going to make omelets.
Oh, no. He went and did it too, didn't he? I bet you he did.
I don't know. He did some other things too that were maybe a little unethical, but extremely hilarious. But
wow. I remember prank calling people in the 80s.
I sent a family to get the free pizza.
I remember prank calling. I remember prank calling people until people. What was that called? Caller ID.
Oh yeah, caller ID.
And they'd call you back after.
Just *69. You'll find out.
Well, I think we're probably going to wrap this puppy up because it's almost 10 o'clock Central Time.
Wow.
So
2 hours.
Yeah, can you believe it? Yeah, it went fast, didn't it?
Yeah.
Anything that you want to leave our friends with here?
I guess I think if people want to, if they're looking for an outlet, if they're having issues with what we talked about earlier, maybe join AWTV.
We're also
Essential
on
Works TV,
Telegram.
and like I said, come into the group I've started there. We've got a lot of people talking and trying to help each other, and like I said, Stacy and Corey are doing that.
Because the censorship.
I'm gonna plug for them too. Because they're doing that class, and I think that's gonna help a lot of people.
Yeah. Yes.
Because I think there's more people dealing with this than we realize. I've had, like I said, I've had a lot of people, private message me and say, hey, I'm dealing with dark stuff, and I don't know what to do. So,
Now Corey has said the name of Jesus Christ to get these entities away. That works too.
Yep, it absolutely does. And use your faith. That's what I said. My sister, I took holy water she had and went around and used it to clear the house. Because we're raised Catholic, and so that's her faith. So yeah, I absolutely think that works.
Yeah.
Agree. So.
And you, Todd? How about you, Todd? Are you done?
Me, I just feel like just look at life as a reflection and just use that as a tool to work on self. Anything that's going on in your life, say, okay, thanks, life. Let me see if I can fix that.
That's a great way. That's a great way to live your life. That's awesome advice.
Oh, yeah.
That is incredible.
Simple.
Well, thank you again, Todd and Carrie. Oh, wait a minute.
What?
If anyone wants to see these guys more, especially Todd, goes by the name Angel, check out Pena Perspective every Tuesday at
7:30, I believe. Yeah.
7:30 on Tuesdays Central Time. Check out Pena Perspective because Todd's on there. He's also on with.
Periodically drags me in there.
Yeah.
Drug me in there a couple times.
She's.
And it's nice. It's nice when she pops in. It is. It is nice. Yeah, Todd's great, but the two together are like magic. So there you go.
You're sweet, Aaron.
Oh, thank you. So we got Miguel Pena is the guy running it, and you got Todd, and then
Carl and Mud Rabbit.
Carl and Mud Rabbit. Yes, and Mud Rabbit is our awesome mod. We got awesome mod squad here. Mud Rabbit's one of the best in the business.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to hear her, because she's got a lot of interesting things to say.
Yes.
And everybody there does. It's quite a little round table they got. So go check it out. Pena Perspective on Tuesdays. Go give him a follow, subscribe, and check it out.
Yep. And Aaron, I was going to ask you, are you planning anything for Ascension Works TV? Are you planning on?
Well, I have a profile there. I have a profile in there.
I got some friend requests there.
I'm not sure what is able to be done on there. I've only been on there like a day.
Yeah,
so.
they're still working out some of the. I mean, it's still kind of in the testing phases, but I think there's going to be a lot of, content creators. Are gonna. So I mean,
it's user friendly. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably going to be a good avenue for a lot of people. I have a feeling they're gonna have a lot of things that you can do. If you're a content creator.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, I did mention I wanted to create something, and hopefully that will come to fruition. I want to create something for kids, like.
Oh, that's awesome.
This, awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
Something for kids. I think that's something we need to focus on is the kids too. So.
Absolutely, I agree.
Well, thank you again for joining us. And I want to thank everyone in the chat and everyone who watched, liked, and shared. You guys rock because you know what? We're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. So keep your phones and cameras trained to the sky so you can take a picture of that UFO so you can come on the Truth Quest and talk about it. Until then, peace in.
Bye, guys.